World is an MMO, but unlike MMOs, our combat system is 100% real-time action combat.
The way you move, the way you position yourself, the way you dodge and lunge, all matters. It's more like an action RPG than a traditional MMO.
It's not just gear and stats and things that are going to decide who wins a fight. Positioning and tactics and reaction times and knowing what the different moves an enemy is capable of really affect how successful you're going to be.
You have to move around in space and you have to set up your attacks, how you're dodging. It makes it very dynamic and visceral.
100% real-time combat.
Weapon Mastery has added a ton of depth and strategy to our combat system.
In New World, the Weapon Mastery system allows a player to grow more proficient in the types of gameplay that they enjoy and they do the most.
So each type of weapon has a different skill tree. As you continue to use that weapon, you'll develop more proficiency and you'll be able to unlock new abilities and bonuses on the skill tree. You can either focus on a specific type of weapon or you can spread out and try all different types.
Whatever gear you're wearing, you can have different gear that makes you play different. So if you wanted to be a frontline tank type of player, you could get heavy armor with a shield. If you wanted to be more of a backline shooter, you want something lighter that can allow you to be a little more flexible with a gun or a bow.
Like if you want to go in with rifles, a blazing, or you want a bow and arrow, or you want to just sword and board, you can actually equip those. So as you grow as a player, you can have different loadouts at the ready. So whatever the situation calls for, you have all these different types of ways that you can deal with the situation and your play style.
A lot of MMOs, you will choose a class, and that will determine the way that you progress. New World's doing a little bit differently, where you pick up a weapon and start fighting with it. And as you fight with it, you begin to earn progression points for that weapon.
As players use weapons, they now gain experience with those weapons. That experience gives you points that then you can invest to specialize amongst the different trees.
So your great axe, which is a giant two-handed axe, will have a skill tree. We want these weapons to feel so different depending on the choice you make that it almost feels like a class choice.
With the hatchet, for example, you can focus on throwing or on melee damage. With the sword and shield, you can either focus on offensive damage or more defensive buffs.
With all these different combinations, there's just an enormous amount of variety that the player can achieve. So Magic plays a huge role in New World, and what's special about it in New World is that anyone can do Magic. How effective you are at Magic will be determined by how much attribute points you spend. If you put a lot of intelligence in and focus, your Magic will be much stronger than other people.
If you spend enough time with the combat system, you can eventually get good at all of the weapons in the game, and you can change your loadout on the fly based on what you want, what your party needs at the time, what the encounter calls for. Endless customization for the user. One of the most fun things to do in New World is PvP, meaning player versus player. It doesn't stop with just one-on-one, it can be groups in battle, it can be armies in battle.
There's a lot of different ways to experience PvP in New World. The two biggest are faction PvP, which after you join a faction, you can then flag. So you go to Sanctuary, you turn on your PvP flag, and then you can battle the other two factions in PvP once you're flagged. Now you can only damage other people that are flagged, so it is an opt-in PvP system. It's a system that really rewards skill. It's a system in which a level 50 player can beat a level 60 player, and that's super cool to me.
Players can also sign up to participate in territory wars, even without being open world PvP flagged.
So wars can be conducted between different companies when you're trying to take over a territory. And in war, it's battles of 50 on 50, an attacking side, a defending side. It's really the pinnacle moment of PvP in the game.